Paul McCartney and John Lennon shared one of the most iconic songwriting partnerships in music history, but their relationship wasn't without tension. Since first meeting at a church fair in 1957, they bonded instantly over their love of rock and roll. However, despite their close collaboration in the Beatles, there were lingering doubts and mistrust between them. McCartney once revealed that Lennon often viewed him with suspicion, considering him manipulative, especially in matters concerning the band and their music rights. This distrust surfaced during several critical moments, including disputes over the ownership of their song catalog. McCartney recounted how Lennon accused him of scheming when he bought shares in Northern Songs, even though the purchase had been recommended by a trusted advisor. Lennon, suspecting ulterior motives, responded with anger and eventually bought shares himself. After Lennon's death in 1980, McCartney experienced what he described as a wave of revisionism, a cultural shift that seemed to place Lennon as the sole genius behind the Beatles while diminishing McCartney's own contributions. He noted that people began crediting Lennon with all the brilliance and treating McCartney as merely the guy who got lucky with Yesterday. This shift was deeply unsettling for him, especially when he was blamed or sidelined in retrospectives of the band's legacy. Their personal relationship also had its ups and downs. McCartney once traveled to Los Angeles during Lennon's infamous Lost Weekend phase, a period marked by drug use and separation from Yoko Ono, and encouraged him to return to his wife. He later expressed frustration that despite all the help he offered, Lennon never acknowledged it, often acting like McCartney gave nothing while taking everything. In 1969, the Beatles faced a major loss when Northern Songs, the company that managed their music publishing, was sold to ATV Music. Both Lennon and McCartney opposed the sale and attempted to reclaim control. However, during a tense boardroom meeting, Lennon's temper flared and he lashed out at the business executives, which ultimately derailed their efforts. The company, and with it, their music catalog, slipped from their hands. Despite the conflicts, McCartney has often spoken about the deep connection he shared with Lennon, especially due to shared experiences of personal loss. Both had lost their mothers young, and Lennon had a particularly difficult childhood marked by abandonment and grief. McCartney recalled how Lennon once confided in him about feeling cursed, fearing he brought misfortune to the men in his family. McCartney had to reassure him, reminding Lennon that the tragedies in his life weren't his fault. Their conversations went beyond music. Lennon once voiced concerns about how he would be remembered after his death. McCartney recalled being surprised by the vulnerability of the question, but responded with comfort and reassurance. He told Lennon that his work already spoke for itself and that people would see him as great. McCartney likened himself to a kind of confessor in Lennon's life, someone Lennon could turn to in moments of doubt for emotional support. In the end, although rivalry and mistrust sometimes clouded their collaboration, there was also genuine affection and loyalty between them, a complex, enduring friendship shaped by both creative brilliance and emotional scars.